Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Black Hills Connection podcast. It's a new year, so we're excited for that, and for our guest, Dr. Anna Quinn. Now, Anna, you do some really awesome work, okay? Hope Storm is your business name. But first, I just want to address with people that I first met you at the Hope Center.
Yep.
Right? Because I was doing an
All
interview
hope.
with you. So there's a thing here. And you were working there. And so I feel like this type of work that you're doing has been just like ingrained in you, like something that's been on your heart.
Yeah.
Probably forever. Really.
Probably
so
forever.
Kind of talk about the work that you do now and sort of the journey that got you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a loaded question.
All good. I'll run with it. Yeah, so really as a young person, I knew I wanted to do something to help people. Mm-hmm. And as I got my education and experience and that sort of stuff, I ended up in the social work field. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what you do, human services. Sure. So yeah, throughout that, I was everything from a case manager to the executive director of the Hope Center. Mm-hmm. And then kind of through all of those experiences, about 15 years I spent in nonprofits, I just saw a lot of how like our healing systems stink. Mm-hmm. They really don't work to actually help people heal, help people get out of their situation, help people overcome. And so as I was finishing up my doctorate and those sorts of things, I started just kind of developing this thing in my brain that eventually became Hope Storm. I didn't know that's what it was at the time, but it really was just an opportunity to help people in a different way. Okay. And so, you know, again, it evolved from what I saw, but then also a lot of what I learned in the doctorate of psychology with like the differences between what our brain does and what our body does, and how the differences between like processing and healing and things like that look. So really I ended up kind of designing Hope Storm around body-based modalities. And so helping people heal by becoming mindful, by connecting to themselves, by connecting with the stress energy that's inside of our bodies, and learning how to deal with that and release that.
Okay, so that, because I know you do like hypnotherapy and like some different things. But first, I just want to address what you just said, because I just keep hearing now sort of like the mind-body connection, and stress isn't just one. I mean, it's all connected, you know, and so like when you have stress in your mind, it maybe it's in your gut, or it's in your shoulders, or it's wherever. So it's all connected. Yeah. And if you have this like traumatic stuff you're carrying around, like you're not going to feel better. Right. You know? Right. And so sort of like addressing that, like bringing the demons out kind of, like addressing them, and then like sort of moving on. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, basically like our body is our wisdom. Our body holds all of our memories. And so it is a way to connect to that and find out how our body needs to let it go, how our body needs to release it. And there's so many good things going on. You know, I see yoga classes and ecstatic dance classes and a lot of different things like that. And all of those things do what I do. But I work individually with people and help them find that path and help them find the thing that works specifically for them, because everybody's different. Yeah. What works for you would not work for the next guy. Sure. And so finding what that thing is for each person.
Okay. Because I know, you know, I kind of addressed the new year there, but a lot of people are like, you know, I want to get better, whether it's like mentally or physically or whatever. But like we said, it's all connected. So I think this is a great aspect to think about, like, oh gosh, you know, how can I get better, you know, like mentally? Yeah. And so you're sort of like offering different services. I know you do hypnotherapy, and did it say like Reiki? And
I do a lot of things, yes.
About sort of, I mean, you mentioned like there's different ways to do it, but kind of talk about some of the stuff you do.
So my three primary services are coaching, consulting, and hypnotherapy. Okay. So my coaching is transformational coaching, which kind of embodies all the different things, finding what people need. My consulting is more organizational based, to help them put things into place within their settings to help their staff and their leadership be more stress informed and do things to help improve productivity while decreasing turnover and things like that. But really mental health based. A lot of organizational consultants focus on, how do we get along better and those types of things. And mine is really like, how do we make this organization supportive of people's mental health?
Okay.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then the hypnotherapy I've been doing for about 2 years now,
Okay.
which kind of came up in a weird place, but I'm not going to share too much because it can be a little traumatic. But 5 years ago, I had a near-death experience.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't know. But I kind of knew that about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So had a near-death experience, was in a coma, lots of ickiness. And what I found personally, and I knew these things logically,
Sure.
but you have to sometimes experience
it
things.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah. And so what I found out on a personal level is, because our body holds all that wisdom and all those memories, sometimes those things come from a place that our brains don't remember. And I knew that in cases of, like childhood trauma, a lot of people repress those memories.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was a lot of memories that actually occurred to my body while I was in a coma and while I was not consciously aware of what was going on.
Right.
And so kind of as I went through that process myself, I realized that I needed to add something that would be supportive of people who could feel it in their body, but like, where does that come from?
Place it.
Yeah,
Sure.
and where is that?
Yeah.
And so connecting to the subconscious, getting over, kind of those walls or those roadblocks where you don't fully understand, like, why am I afraid of flying? I have no reason to be afraid of flying.
Okay.
Or why am I, afraid of dogs?
Yeah.
And sometimes we just don't know. And so
Sure.
connecting to that, not only physically, but also on a subconscious level. So it's been really cool to be able to add that piece.
Yeah,
and
sort
help
of
people.
help people in that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Climb over those walls.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then Reiki, do you do Reiki?
I do. I am not a full Reiki master yet. I am in my training.
A Reiki master.
Yes. That is what you become. But I do a little bit of Reiki. It's not kind of one of my typical services, but I do offer it, and I can do it from a distance, which is super cool. So yeah, that's something that is also available.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I have to ask, like the I don't know, the title, your brand, like Hope Storm. To me, those seem like clashing ideas. Or kind of explain that.
Yeah. So it was kind of it was a weird process because I'm, starting this business and I'm like, I want it to be something uplifting. And, you go through that process and I just kind of sent it out into the universe, give me a name.
Sure.
And Hope Storm came up and I was like, what in the world? And I tried to talk myself out of it for months. I'm like, this is weird. But ultimately to me, a storm is something that like stirs up the atmosphere. And why can't that be hope? And so that's kind of what Hope Storm is to me, is that we can stir this up and we can like really rely on hope, and hope can be sparks in the sky and wind and, all of those things you think of, but it's a good thing.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And I know you do different sort of like seminars, or like you're a guest speaker at things, certain things like that. And I see, do you have an event coming up?
I do. January 10th.
Oh, okay.
So very soon.
That is soon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Myself and Dace Price, who does life coaching, and then Nancy Anderson Smith, who is an intuitive medium. We're doing a half-day workshop. It's a Saturday at School of Minds, about connecting to your body, listening to, the messages that you get. I'm doing, my portion is on kind of connecting the conscious and the subconscious.
Okay.
And then brain health, physical health, kind of a New Year's kickoff type thing.
Because I feel like, we're all a little bit disconnected. I feel like sort of from our bodies and like different things. You kind of be surprised. Yeah.
Most people are.
Yeah. How you, you're just not there really.
Yeah.
Is there, so like in these workshops, are you like teaching people like sort of how to do that? Or is it like, oh, I gotta do this and this and this, or kind of what's the work there?
Yeah. So in the workshops, a lot of it's informational, but we do give some like hands-on practical tools. Here's what
Okay.
you can do.
Okay.
As far as the general person connecting to their body, reconnecting to their body, because we're all born connected.
Yeah.
You know, we're all born to know we're supposed to cry when we have a need met. We're supposed to,
Right.
you know, do certain things when, you know, our body feels stressed or we're upset.
Yeah.
And we learn, I think, through life and then also, unfortunately, through culture to not do those things.
Suppress
You
it,
know,
kind
like
of.
it's not okay to cry. You shouldn't be, you know, behaving that way in a restaurant or
Oh,
whatever the things
sure.
are that
Yeah.
we teach in those messages. And so a lot of the work to get back to our bodies is literally just doing that. Sit, spend 10 minutes a day. How do I feel? What do I notice? What's my breath? What's my, you know?
Right.
I actually had lunch with a friend right before this, and we were talking about some of these things. And I said, for so many people, it's, they kind of brush it off because logically we say, well, that's just easy. I can do that whenever.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's fine. I'll do it when I want to do it.
Yeah.
But the reality is we have to do it kind of every day to build the muscle memory of I am connecting. I am noticing my breath. I am noticing, you know, how I am and how I'm being and what my presence is and all of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
And so for most people, it's just checking in. How am I feeling? How am I doing? What's my body telling me? And then it can look like lots of things. It can look like breath work. It can look like yoga. It can look like
Meditation.
absolutely
Yeah.
all of those things.
Yeah.
But the start is just committing time every day to say, I'm going to sit with myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my phone away.
Right.
I'm going to turn off the beeps.
Yeah, isn't that something? And like you
Yeah.
wonder why we have so many like sleep issues and stuff because we're going, doing, and then we get in our bed and we're like scrolling and still stimulated, and then it's like, why can't I sleep?
Absolutely.
That's
Yep.
why, because we have to literally like turn the brain off.
Yep.
And that's so hard because, like you said, in today's culture and different things, it's like, what are you doing? You need more. You need to
Yep.
be hustling. You need to
Yep.
do.
Well, and I think most of us can think of times that when we feel a feeling, you know, like something feels cruddy right now.
Yeah.
We grab our phones and we're like, I'm going to ignore this feeling and I'm
Dissociate.
going to make that go away.
Yeah.
And we do that.
Yes.
And, you know, so another step is simply just saying, I have a feeling and I'm going to let this feeling exist.
Yes.
And I'm not going to run away from it.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And like to do that with kids.
Yes.
You know, not just say, oh, you shouldn't be scared. You know, like I've heard that to do that. But man, that's so hard. Because our
Yeah.
instinct is just be like, oh, don't be scared. I'll help you. I'll take, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, no, they're allowed to feel that
Yeah.
and let them feel it and then wash it over, sort of.
Yeah. And I have a 5-year-old kiddo, and our response to him is always, it's okay to feel whatever. It's okay to feel scared. It's
Yeah.
okay to feel mad.
Yeah.
But we just remind him, like, it's not okay to be mean.
Right.
So you can have big feelings, whatever those look
Yeah.
like.
Just don't throw blocks at me.
Yeah, just don't smack me in the face because I don't like that.
Because that's not okay.
Right.
Violence is not okay.
Yep,
Oh
exactly.
my gosh, I was on your Facebook page the other day. I'm going to grab my phone because I saw some things, because you post a lot of stuff. People can find you just Hope Storm
Yeah.
on Facebook.
I think it's Hope Storm with Dr. Anna. But
Oh,
yep.
okay. There you go.
There's not a lot of Hope Storms out
No,
there, so you'll
I mean, not.
find me.
But there's some interesting things, these quotes on here I liked, like, anxiety is the mind rehearsing pain that hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
And right, like a lot of our anxiety derives from living too much in the past or in the future, don't you feel like?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard to
Yeah.
be present.
Yep.
Yeah.
And really, anxiety is like just that stress energy that needs somewhere to go.
Right.
And, you know, if we listen into that, a lot of times our body will say, jump around or go for a run, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I dealt with that.
Just sort of get it out.
yeah.
I get-
And that's
yeah, what you
obviously not always the case. But
Right. This one too, we don't heal by avoiding, we heal by feeling. And we were just sort of talking about that one.
yeah.
And this one, sorry, one more. Same trigger, new response. That's growth.
Yeah.
I like that one. So, like, if you had to explain a trigger to someone, like, well, how would you explain it?
So triggers kind of become like a really fun buzzword that
It
everybody
has,
uses.
yes, you're right.
Like, I'm triggered by this.
Yeah.
Everything's triggering. and-
Yeah.
So sure, that's great. We can do that. But like the reality of it within like stress and trauma, a trigger is something that reminds your body of something bad that's happened in the past. A lot of times those triggers come from our senses. So it's something we see, something we smell, something we taste. You know, like I'm sure you've had a smell and you've been like, oh, my grandma's house.
Yeah.
Or, oh, remember that guy? You know, like
Yeah.
there's always something.
Right.
And so a lot of times the triggers are a physical memory, a physical manifestation that we've experienced. And so it's something that tells our nervous system we're not safe. And so those triggers are things that give us that signal that I've smelt this smell before.
Yeah.
That was not a safe smell.
Now I'm like
And
worried. Now I'm
now-
riled up.
Yep.
Sort of.
And so then your nervous system becomes dysregulated. We go into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And we don't always understand, like, I'm in Walmart. Why in the world am I doing this right now? But it's because of those things that tell the nervous system, which has encoded that memory that has said,
Wow.
this smell is danger
Wow.
because of the past.
Yeah.
And so it reminds us that that was danger before and it's still danger, even though it's probably not.
Right. So sort of like recognizing that and be like, hey,
Yep.
like sort of talk myself down from that.
Yep. Yeah. And there's a lot of tools, you know, a lot of it comes to like learning ourselves and noticing what happens in our bodies.
Yeah.
Because if we don't even know we're triggered, what do you do with that?
Right.
You just think you're upset or you're
Yeah,
hangry
you're
or,
crazy or something.
you know, like
Yeah.
somebody bumped into me with their shopping cart,
Yeah.
you know. And a lot of times it is like there's a physical response. And an example I give a lot is like when I started personally doing this work, you know, like I need to know my body and
Yeah.
I need to know what I'm doing. I found that when I'm angry, I clench my fists.
Oh.
I didn't know I did it. You know, like I would literally be laying in bed and I'd have my fists like
Yeah.
or on my side and like I'm ready to fight.
Oh.
And once I noticed I was doing that, I could relax my fists, you know, kind of shake it out, and that
Yeah.
would help my body say, "Oh, I'm not in fight mode.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have to do this."
Yeah.
And so as we learn our bodies and we learn those types of things, then we can tell if something is off.
Right.
You know, oh, I'm triggered.
Yeah.
Cool, but why? Why am I,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
What is going on within me that says that that's happening?
Right. And that's super interesting that the body, just like your nervous system, just holds that. I mean, the brain, I mean, bodies are amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like super interesting, I think, you know, why we
Absolutely.
do what we do, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But-
And we hold everything. I mean, we even hold the things we don't remember.
Yeah.
And so we can have those things.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, is there anything else we need to talk about in this time frame? Because I know it's not a lot of time, but I have you here, and I could like talk about this stuff all day because I think it's super
Yeah.
interesting, like just psychology, and I feel like now when I meet people, I'm always like not like psychoanalyzing them because I don't have a degree, but you know what I mean. You're just like, oh, why do you do that? Why are you like that?
Yeah.
And I do it to myself too.
Absolutely.
And it's just really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You know, I think we all have the ability to kind of evaluate ourselves and lean into those areas like, why do I do these things? What is the story I'm telling myself? What is the story my
Yeah.
body's telling me?
Right.
And just have slight improvements. You know, I think everybody has an area somewhere that feels a little weird, feels a
Right.
little off.
Yeah.
And so we have that opportunity. And it doesn't have to be big and extreme, you know, like we don't have to dig up the whole yard, you know, we can literally just take, 10 minutes every day and
Yeah.
kind of lean into ourselves. And
Yeah, I like that, the checking in with yourself. And I've heard of this before, and I know some people who like even set timers.
absolutely.
So like, oh, it's like 2:00, I better just chill for a few minutes and
Yep.
reset or
Yeah, put it on your calendar, make sure it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have little, they're like stopwatches, and they're like 5 sides, and they have a different time on each side, and you just flip it to whatever. So I can do a minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it's really nice because a lot of people, you touch your phone and you're distracted.
Oh, I know.
And so you just have
Yes.
something that keeps you away from the phone.
Yes.
And so you can grab that and
That's a good point.
do your 5 minutes and
Yep.
feel better.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hope Storm That's the
Yep.
That's the page.
Yep.
Dr. Anna Quinn.
Yep. I'm on all the social medias.
All of them.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, if people see this and like, oh yeah, I kind of want to work through some stuff, they can call you. And get an
Absolutely.
appointment.
Yep.
And go
I
from
do
there.
free 30-minute consultations so people
Nice.
can call and we can just chat about their stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a good fit because
Okay.
you have to find the right fit.
Sure.
It's just like a massage therapist or anybody else.
Yep.
You know, you want to make sure that the person you're going to is good for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us
Thank you.
today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. We'll see you next time.